I had the pleasure of speaking with Charles Nenner. Charles Nenner is a world-renowned cycle researcher that used to be with Goldman Sachs, and now he has his own research firm. He spoke with me last week and we discussed the economy. Charles Nenner has been forecasting a global slowdown, and of course that's been going on for a long time. It's no longer forecast. That is certainly fact. We see a global slowdown getting even worse. The U.S. GDP dropping to around 1% or less by year end, and next year going below zero. So risk has entered the marketplace. He also told me he fully expected this bounce that we're having, and he thinks a target of around 3,080 on the S&P is probably the top. So maybe we make just a really tiny nominal new high, and then we're down for a couple years. And he said anyone that's still in the market really needs to talk to their professional about exiting the market sometime mid-July. And he has already told most of his clients to get out. There's only a few percentage points to be gained, and then there's an awful lot of risk. So where do you go with this? Particularly me as a baby boomer, most of my clients are baby boomers. What do we do with our money? If most of our money is in the stock market, and people have done reasonably well in the stock market, where do you put your money? Charles is saying that we should be looking for small units, small entry-level homes, something that can be rented pretty easily. There's 6 really good markets around the United States that make great investment locations anyway. They're going to become even better. We're here in Phoenix, metropolitan Phoenix, right next to California, and everybody's leaving California. So we have huge population pressures here with over 100,000 people last year alone. So our rents are being driven up. He thinks here, perhaps Las Vegas, would also make sense to be putting some of your money. Now you can get cash flow, and of course this demographic push that we see is not going to abate. We've got probably another decade of population coming to these centers, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on housing. So not only do you get a good cash flow now, but you're going to grow that cash flow. So you get out of the market into perhaps a safer asset class. Now keep in mind that real estate is a completely separate asset class from equities in the stock market. And yes, it's affected, but not too terribly much. So you can be safer, you can protect your wealth, and you can get an income. Because if we have a slowdown on the order of what Charles Nenner is thinking we're going to get, income will be paramount. He's talking about deflation, and there's risk in bonds and stocks, but he thinks real estate should be really good. I'm so glad to hear that. So if I can help in any way, even just to brainstorm, you're welcome to have your financial professional call me. We can think what's best for you. Your spouse, certainly. Your best friend, your Uncle Eddie, I'm more than happy to talk to any of them. So my very best to you. Bye-bye now.